Welcome to our exploration of an incredible inner universe, the human skeletal system. This intricate architecture, comprised of over 200 individual bones, serves as the framework of our bodies. Picture it, if you will, like the scaffolding that holds up a building, providing both support and shape. But it's not just about structure. The skeletal system is a veritable shield, protecting our delicate internal organs from harm. Picture the rib cage, cradling the heart and lungs, or the skull, which houses the brain, our control center. Beyond support and protection, our bones also facilitate movement, working in concert with our muscles to allow us to dance, run, and embrace. Each bone, from the tiniest in our ear to the largest in our thigh, plays a critical role in our daily lives, often without us even realizing it. Now, let's dive deeper into this fascinating system, starting with the skull. The human skull, a complex structure composed of multiple bones, is our first stop. Imagine a sturdy helmet, constructed of 22 bones, designed to protect your brain, the control center of your body. This helmet is your skull. Let's start with the frontal bone, which forms your forehead. This bone is not just for raising eyebrows in surprise, it also houses the frontal sinuses and plays a crucial role in facial expressions. Next, we have the parietal bones. These two large bones form the top and sides of your skull, like the walls of a fortress, protecting your brain from any potential harm. Then there's the occipital bone at the back of your skull. This bone is unique because it has a large hole, the foramen magnum, where your brain connects to the spinal cord. Talk about a grand entrance. The temporal bones, one on each side of the skull, are the acoustic maestros of the skull. They house the structures for hearing and balance. Ever wondered why your ears ring after a loud concert? You can thank your temporal bones for that. The sphenoid bone is a bit of a show-off. Shaped like a butterfly, it forms the base of your skull and part of your eye sockets. It's a key player in the structure of the skull. Lastly, we have the ethmoid bone, a light, porous bone between the eyes. It contains a honeycomb-like structure that contributes to your sense of smell. So when you're enjoying the aroma of that freshly brewed coffee, remember to thank the ethmoid bone. All these bones join together, creating a solid yet flexible structure. They're like pieces of a jigsaw puzzle, intricately fitting together to form the protective shell for your brain. And then there are 14 bones that form the structure of your face, but let's save that for another time. Each bone in the skull has a unique role and function, showing just how complex and beautifully designed our bodies are. From the skull, we move down to the vertebral column, the backbone of our body. The vertebral column, or backbone, is our body's central support structure. It's an intricate assembly of vertebrae, each unique in structure and function. Starting from the top, we have the 7 cervical vertebrae, making up the neck. They're the smallest yet bear the weight of the head. Next, we find 12 thoracic vertebrae, each articulating with a pair of ribs. Following these are the 5 lumbar vertebrae, the sturdiest of the lot, bearing most of the body's weight. Lastly, we have the sacral and coccygeal vertebrae, fused together to form the sacrum and coccyx respectively. The vertebral column's primary role is to provide support, allowing us to stand upright, bend, and twist. But it's not just about support. It also houses and protects one of our most critical components, the spinal cord, the main pathway for information connecting the brain and peripheral nervous system. Now let's turn our attention to the bones that protect our vital organs, the ribs and sternum. The ribs and sternum form a protective cage for our heart and lungs. This assembly, commonly known as the rib cage, consists of 12 pairs of ribs, each connecting to the spine at the back and wrapping around to the front where most connect to the sternum. The sternum, or breastbone, is a long, flat bone in the middle of the chest, providing an anchor point for the ribs. Now let's talk about the role of these bones. Besides protection, the ribs and sternum play a vital role in our breathing process. As we inhale, the muscles between the ribs contract, lifting the rib cage and expanding the chest cavity. This action creates a vacuum that pulls air into our lungs. As we exhale, these muscles relax, reducing the space in the chest cavity and pushing the air out. From the center of our body, we move to the limbs, starting with the arms. The bones of our arms and hands are marvels of natural engineering. Our journey through the skeletal system now takes us to the upper limb bones, those intricate structures that give us the gift of movement and dexterity. Let's start with the arm bones. The humerus is the long bone in the upper arm, connecting the shoulder to the elbow. It's a prime mover in our ability to lift and swing objects. Next, we have the radius and the ulna, the two bones that make up our forearm. The radius allows us to rotate our hands, while the ulna supports the upper arm, giving strength to our grip. Moving on to the wrist, we find the carpals, a group of 8 small bones that form a tunnel for the nerves and tendons that control the fingers and thumb. These bones allow intricate movements of the hand and wrist. Further along, we have the metacarpals, the 5 long bones in the hand that connect the wrist to the fingers. These bones provide the framework for the palm of the hand. Lastly, we reach the phalanges, the bones that form our fingers and thumbs. Each finger has 3 phalanges, and the thumb has 2, allowing us to perform delicate tasks and express ourselves through gestures. Through their combined function, these bones showcase the beauty of the skeletal system at work. Next, we explore the lower half of our body, starting with the pelvic girdle. The pelvic girdle and lower limbs bear the weight of our body and facilitate movement. This statement leads us to the exploration of the human body's foundation, the pelvic girdle and the lower limb bones. The pelvic girdle, often referred to as the hip bones or the pelvic bones, is a ring-like structure located at the base of the spine. It's essentially a housing unit for some of our most vital organs, including the bladder, reproductive organs, and the lower part of the digestive system. But that's not all. It's also a powerhouse, providing a strong and stable support system for our body's weight while standing, walking, or running. Now, let's move to the bones of the legs and feet, beginning with the femur. Known as the thigh bone, the femur is the longest, largest, and strongest bone in the human body. It plays a key role in supporting our body weight and enabling leg movements. Next in line is the tibia, or the shin bone, the second largest bone in our body. It bears most of our weight when standing. Alongside it runs the fibula, a slender bone that provides muscle attachments and helps stabilize the tibia. Down to the ankle region, we find the tarsal bones. 7 in number, these bones work together to form the ankle and the heel, playing a vital role in balance and movement. The foot's body is formed by the metatarsals, 5 long bones that play a crucial role in walking and running. The toes, or phalanges as they are medically termed, may seem insignificant, but they provide balance and propulsion during walking and running. So, as we journey from the pelvic girdle down to the toes, we can see how each bone is intricately designed to support, balance, and mobilize us. Each bone in our body, from the smallest toe bone to the largest femur, plays a critical role in our skeletal system. That brings us to the end of our journey through the skeletal system. We've taken a detailed look at the human skeleton, from the cranium down to the phalanges. We've examined the intricacies of our skull, the sturdiness of our vertebral column, the protective nature of our ribs and sternum, the adaptability of our upper limb bones, and the support provided by our pelvic girdle and lower limb bones. Each bone, each joint, each minute detail in our skeletal system serves a unique purpose. They provide structure, facilitate movement, protect our vital organs, and even produce blood cells. It's an intricate network, an architectural marvel of nature that works together in harmony to keep us upright, mobile, and alive. However, the skeletal system is not just a static framework. It's a dynamic, living structure that's constantly rebuilding and remodeling itself. It's a testament to the amazing adaptability of the human body, capable of healing and growing stronger in response to stress and injury. Understanding the skeletal system opens a window into how we move, how we grow, and how we endure. It's a fascinating field of study that continues to reveal new insights about our physical selves and our place in the natural world. Thank you for joining us on this exploration. We hope you found it enlightening and encourage you to learn more about the fascinating human skeletal system.